one day I stepped off a stair and it caused me to sprain my ankle and I couldn't walk anymore. 24 hours later, I asked my friend to take me to the hospital. When they took me to the hospital and they said, well, you just sprained it and you'll go on. And that wasn't true. 24 hours later, or a month later, we went back and I still couldn't walk. And the doctor told me that I had something that was called reflex sympathetic dystrophy or complex regional pain syndrome, CRPS. And I asked him, could I walk again? And he said, nothing. And he walked out of the room. I was devastated. I collapsed on the floor. I had to call somebody to come pick me up. I couldn't even drive home. I went to one of the leading hospitals here in Michigan, and they told me that it was true that I had this disease, and complex regional pain syndrome hasn't been around, or has been around since the Civil War, but doctors don't know about it. They don't have enough information. The community doesn't know much about it. And it has been a struggle through the last few years. When I found out that I had this disease and that it took everything from my life, I had to ask somebody to help me to even bathe. My independence was gone. I'm sorry, but
okay.
It took my life away. I wanted to commit suicide. I wanted to be a cop more than anything in the world. I struggled 7 years through school on top of my class. So after I went to the teaching hospital on that, they were giving me blocks and they got me walking, but I took another fall. And I told him that the disease spread, and he told me that the disease couldn't spread. And complex regional pain syndrome is a disease that when a normal person's nerves fire off in a rotation, but somebody like me, it's always telling me that I have a injury, and it's always firing off like fireworks, and it spreads through not enough exercise, too much exercise, ice, stress, and of course any invasive procedure can end up in this disease. So after U of M, U of M got me walking. I had to find another doctor to help me because the disease spread to my eyes and my throat and my arm, and I needed help. And one of my friends said, hey, you know what, I have this disease, and I was like blown away. It was a godsend. And he said, go see this doctor, he can help you. So I went to go see this doctor, and the first thing he mentioned when we got into his office was ketamine. Ketamine, we did an infusion right off the bat, and it was the worst thing of my life. I didn't want to go back and do it again. And when I got home, I was literally walking without crutches or anything. I didn't even realize I was walking around. And so I was like, I gotta go back, I gotta try again. I got online, I started talking to other people that were familiar with this disease, that have tried ketamine, and they gave me some tips because the first time I tried ketamine, nobody told me that, it would help if I went in and maybe try some music or some glasses, because photophobia I have and the lights bother, and bring my comfortable blanket and just get comfortable, and most of all, go in positive. You have to go in. I always prepare a couple days ahead of time if I'm going to do ketamine and get my mindset right. And anybody that's negative is gone. They're not allowed around me. Anyway, that was the first time I ever tried ketamine. And I continued. And my world blew up again. The doctor was arrested, and it left me with no help. At that time also I was on opiates, and nobody at that point wanted to give opiates either for this disease. I had no help, no pain medication, no nothing. Anyway, I'm in stage 3 now, and there's 2 types, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 has no nerve damage and type 2 does. And I have them both, and the disease is affecting my organs now also. But it took me about a couple years before I found help again. God led me down a different road. They had construction down this one road, and so we had to take a different exit, and we took the exit, and next thing we know, it was like God was throwing this sign up saying ketamine.com. And we were passing it, and I was like, hey, we just seen this sign, we gotta go back. And he turned the car around, and we came back and we read the sign, and we said we got a call. So we called, and I never expected, it was a Sunday, I never expected anybody to answer. And somebody answered, and I'm standing in the middle of a parking lot in front of a pet store talking to this person for 2 hours. And I felt like there was hope again. It's something when somebody loses their independence and you're fighting for your life basically, because I fight from being bedbound, and I'm on opiates now, and I just started ketamine again, and it's a fight to get where I want to go, but I know that ketamine will give me my independence. I just started another session of ketamine, and they decided that what we were doing in the beginning wasn't really working, because I could see spurts of light come out, but I wasn't getting there, I wasn't getting where I need to be. And so we just got done a few weeks ago of doing one at a higher strength for me, and it's amazing. I didn't even realize that when I was starting to recover that I was actually cleaning my house. I haven't been able to do that in a long time.